Welcome to Warrior Flow. My name is Leland Holgate. I'm the president and founder of Warriors for Life America, and it is our absolute honor and privilege to serve our military veterans, first responders, and their families. Of course, we're community-based as well. So one of our big things is that we like to make sure that the community is involved in everything that we do. Because being part of something that's bigger than yourself, I think is key for true and absolute healing. If you don't feel like you're part of something else, there's no way to really get through the things that you're going through. You feel alone. So that's what we're there for, is to make sure that we can be there for all of our great warriors in our society. And this one is a trauma-informed or resiliency-based yoga program. So there's going to be some differences that you may notice. And I'll go over some of those differences here very soon. But this one is basically all about the hip and the shoulder openers. You know, two of the areas that really everything comes from out of the trunk of the body. The legs come from the hips, the arms come out of the shoulders. Of course, the head is attached to the shoulders as well. And what we found is that the shoulders is where we hold all of our anger and our resentment, and our hips is where we hold all of the regret and depression. So usually the present moment and being upset and angry is up in the shoulders, and the past is usually held into the hips. So this is all about opening up those areas and allowing us, or giving us, the best chance to just let go of something that no longer serves us. So throughout this, you may feel something start to bubble up. You may feel something scratching at the surface. And instead of avoiding it, just allow it. Allow it to come up. Allow it to pass like we know that it will. And a lot of these self-regulation techniques that you're going to hear will allow you to be a little more present in the moment and a little more focused on what you're doing in the now. So as we continue to move forward, just allow yourself to be wherever you are. I know sometimes that's tough for all of us, especially with what's going on right now, to just honor where we are. But I think the more we honor where we are, the easier it is to get to where we want to be. So it's easy to get caught up in some of the things that are happening right now with the COVID-19 crisis. And we're all going a little stir crazy. I know I am too. It's great, though, to connect with all of you. And one of my favorite things that I heard was, I'm no longer calling it social distancing. Because that, for me, is as well as others, you hear that and you feel like you're socially distant. Well, from now on, I'm going to be saying, thank you to Jay Glazer and the MVP crew, by the way, he was the one that brought this up. I will be saying physically distanced, yet socially connected, because here we are with the ability to connect through technology. So while a lot of people may look at technology as, something that can be used for evil, this is a great way for us to connect and really keep that social connection, even though we can't be physically connected at the moment. So that way we can lift each other up, strengthen and empower one another. And what better way to get through this crisis than to strengthen and empower each and every one of us? So that's what we're here for today, is that empowerment, that strength, to pull something out of that tool chest or out of the closet that you didn't even know you had strength-wise. So we're going to get going here in just about a minute. So since we're right about time, I am going to go ahead and I'll break down Warrior Flow for you here just a bit. So Warrior Flow was created by myself. It's a series that focuses on opening up the shoulders, opening up the hips, and allowing you to let go of something. It's also level 2 of trauma recovery yoga, or total resilience yoga, if you've been through or heard of that. My friend Joyce and Darwin are co-founders of Trauma Recovery Yoga. So they came up with the resiliency yoga, and what I've done is now made the level 2, or we call it try harder. So as we move through, you'll notice some differences with this yoga. I won't be walking around. There's no point anyways, we're not in a room, but I won't walk around the room even when we do this in live classes. I sit right up at the front. I will also be modeling the entire time. So if you get a little lost on something that I call out, just take a look at your screen and I can show you exactly where we are. As we move through, this is not about the yoga. I mean, yoga is the vehicle that we chose for this, but it's more about the self-regulation techniques, the checking in, the tuning in with self. So pay attention for those self-regulation techniques because they work off of the mat as well. They're brilliant on the mat. They're just as brilliant if you're in your car or if you're walking or if you're at work. Anywhere else that you are, these really do work for yourself. It's all based on science. We don't speak Sanskrit here. So everything that we have was created between the co-founders of Try and also psychologists. So this is truly science-based. It's also logic-based. So as we move through, express your choice. Do as much or as little as you want. If you sit on your mat the entire time and breathe, you are practicing yoga. That is yoga. It's breath and concentration and being present in the moment. So if I'm too fast, slow it down for yourself. If I'm a slow poke, you can speed it up. And as we move through, again, pay attention for those self-regulation techniques. They are so key. And I will not have anybody standing on their heads or doing any weird Instagram poses. There will be some really great hip openers and shoulder openers as we continue to move on, but none of that Instagram yoga that you may have seen. All right. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start in our seated position, whatever that looks like for you. Your legs can be straight, knees bent, or you can sit in the cross-legged position and just let your knees fall out. Let your hands settle onto your knees, and now let your chin fall to your chest. No need to force the chin to the chest, just allow it to fall. Give yourself a moment here to pay attention to 4 things. Maybe the color of your skin in contrast to the mat, maybe patterns on the floor, maybe your clothing in contrast to the mat, or the mat in contrast to the floor. Anything to bring yourself further into this moment. Notice your sitting bones connected to the mat, connected to Mother Earth, always supporting you. The mat is always there for you, so is Mother Earth. And as we're looking down, this also sends the signal to our brain, all is well, I am safe, I am right where I should be. Now practice a little mindfulness, just a fancy word for noticing. Start to look for places where you may be tense. Maybe places where you may be holding, where the breath may be constricted. And no need to fix them, just with curiosity, no judgment, just noticing. Notice where you are, where your body is, where your mind might be. And now pull your belly button into your spine and really engage the lower intrinsic muscles. Pull your belly button in and restrict the flow of urine. You'll start to feel that whole area start to heat up. That's the center of your being, your internal core temperature firing up. This is your internal furnace. It also helps pull all the mind chatter down away from the brain, allowing it to be burned up and used for fuel. Continue to pull your belly button in toward your spine. Keep those lower intrinsic muscles engaged. Allow that power to build. And this is your power. This power is building from you. Slowly release. Now starting with a 3-part breath, filling from the bottom all the way to the top. As you take an inhale, big belly, into the chest, into the back of the eyes. Exhale through the chest. Press your belly button into your spine. Take a breath in, big belly, into the chest, into the back of the eyes, washing around. Exhale through the chest. Press your belly button into your spine. Inhale, big belly, into your chest, into the back of the eyes. Exhale through the chest. Press your belly button into your spine. And now come back to your normal breath. Just your organic breath. And check in with your body here. Notice from your forehead, relaxed, Jaw release. Shoulders away from your ears. Knees laid out, and your hands just gently laying on your knees with a slight separation in your fingers. On your next inhale, take your right ear to your right shoulder. Head rolls back. Exhale, left ear, left shoulder. Chin to your chest. Inhale, right ear, right shoulder. Continue to roll around and link your breath with your motion here. Allow that rhythm of yourself to find the motion and the breath together. This is your yoga, your mat, your rules, so move at your own pace. Roll around one more time. Let your chin fall to your chest. Give yourself a moment of pause here. Let any dizziness subside. That's completely normal. And as you inhale, left ear, left shoulder, head rolls back. Exhale, right ear, right shoulder, chin to your chest. Inhale, left ear, left shoulder. Continue to roll around. Link your breath to your motion. Allow yourself to find that rhythm between your breath and the motion. And that popping and cracking that we continue to hear is just nitrogen leaving the joints. That's that old stagnant energy clearing out, making way for the new. Roll around one more time. Let your chin fall to your chest. Give yourself another moment of pause here. Notice from your forehead, jaw release, shoulders away from your ear, hands gently laying on your knee, sitting bones connected to your mat. Start to blink your eyes open, lift your gaze nice and slow. Now you can pull your heels in or just move your legs over to the side and come onto all fours. So we're going to have our hands under shoulders, knees underneath hips. And now take your right foot back or right leg straight back. Toes stay connected to the floor. And now cross it up and over to the left, maybe just outside of your mat. Keep your hips nice and square. As you inhale, keep your chest forward over your ankle or over your wrist. As you exhale, look over your left shoulder toward your right heel. You'll feel that stretch in the side body on the right-hand side. That's exactly what we're looking for. As you inhale, chest moves forward. Exhale, look a little further. We're going to be here for just a moment, allowing the side body to open, letting go of something that no longer serves us. One more breath. Look down to your hands. Bring your right knee back over to your mat. And now I don't want you walking in circles, so let's do that other side. So left leg goes back. Cross it up and over to your right. Keep your hips nice and square. As you inhale, chest moves forward, shoulders over wrists. As you exhale, look over your right shoulder toward your left foot. You'll feel the stretch in your left side body. Continue to breathe as you inhale, chest forward. Exhale, look a little further. Give yourself another few breaths. And look down to your hands. Bring your left foot back up and over. And tuck your toes now. And press back to our first downward dog. Hands about shoulder width apart, feet about hip width apart. You can also bend at your knees here if your hamstrings feel just a little tight today. You can press your chest back in toward your shoulders. Create that nice flat back so we can decompress the spine. And as we're here, we like to practice the two most powerful words in the universe. You are your best cheerleader. I am. So rock those out for yourself, whatever that is today. I am amazing. I am happy. I am healthy. As you inhale, heels up, look forward, walk your feet up to meet your hands. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead, hands come to touch. Inhale to heart center. Look down to your fingertips. Give yourself just a moment. Reconnect with your breath. Looking down, sending that signal to our brain, all is well. I am safe. I am right where I should be. And exhale, release. And now we're going to move through what are called sun salutations. So these are meant to burn up that excess energy that we all hold inside of our body. Again, remember, if I'm too fast, slow it down. If I'm too slow, speed it up for yourself. And if you do nothing but sit and breathe, you're still practicing yoga. So do as much or as little as you want. Remember to express that choice, please. And now as you inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams while we're here. I am happy. I am powerful. I am prosperous. As you inhale, heels up, look forward, walk, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead, hands come to touch. Breathe in, heart center. And release. Exhale, inhale, arms up overhead. And as you breathe in, swan dive forward. Take a breath in, halfway lift. Release, hands down to the mat. Step back, lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams once again. I am joyful. I am fun. I am playful. As you inhale, heels up. Take a look forward. Walk your feet up to meet your hands. Take a breath in, halfway lift. Let the air out, fold, and take a deep breath in. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Exhale, release. And as you inhale, sit back and down this time. Your feet and knees stay together. Your tailbone can tuck, belly button in towards your spine, and look past your knees to see if you can see your toes. Then you can lift your arms up overhead, let your shoulders drop away from your ears, and look up past your thumbs. Looking up clears the fog off of the brain, bringing a little clarity to the moment. Maybe you sit down a little lower, challenge yourself. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back, lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams once again. I am confident. I am courageous. I am playful. As you inhale, right leg comes up to the sky. Bend at your knee and let your heel fall over to the left. You can also look under your left shoulder toward your dirty foot. This helps bring stability to the pose. You can lift your right knee up, allowing a little bit extra of a hip stretch. And now as you inhale, right leg straightens, look forward. Exhale, swing your right foot in between your hands. Drop your back heel down. And as you inhale, come up to warrior one. So warrior one, back heel down, back leg straight. Bring your hips square to the front of the room. So left hip forward, right hip back. And then sink in toward your front thigh. Your arms up overhead, let your shoulders sink away from your ears. We'll be here for just a moment. This helps open up the hips. Some of the biggest muscle groups that are all tied into this area. We're always walking and sitting, so it's time for us to help open them up. Maybe you bring your hands together and look up. Maybe you sink a little lower into your front thigh. And as you exhale, let your hands come down. Let your back knee drop to the mat. Tuck your back toes, or you can bring the top of your foot onto the mat. Completely up to you where you are with this. As you inhale, reach up overhead. As you exhale, let your hips dip forward. As you inhale, reach for the sky. And I'm going to give you a balloon in between your hands. You're going to take out a marker. You're going to write down everything that you want to let go of. all the things that no longer serve you, everything in your life that you no longer need or no longer want. Write it all over this balloon. Picture yourself writing everything that you want to let go of all over it. Give yourself another moment to write. Maybe there's a feeling that you don't have words for, so you can associate a number or a color with it. Write it all over that balloon. As you inhale, feel it lifting. As you exhale, separate your hands and watch as it sails away. Smaller and smaller, taken by the universe to be recycled into something new. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, plant your hands. As you inhale, step your right foot back. Lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams once again. I am prosperous. I am amazing. I am happy. Rediscover your breath. Work to keeping that straight, flat back. Feel the decompression in the spine. As you inhale, heels up, look forward, walk, step, or jump your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. And inhale, reverse swan dive. Arms come up overhead, hands come to touch. Inhale, heart center. Exhale, release. And on our next breath in, sit down and back so you can see your toes past your knees. Reach your arms up overhead for another chair pose, everybody's favorite position. Lower, press your belly button in toward your spine. Maybe you turn your pinkies in toward each other so the palms are facing. Maybe you let your shoulders drop away from your ears and look up. Exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant hands, step back, lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams here once again. I am confident. I am strong. I am wealthy. As you inhale, left leg comes up to the sky. Bend at your knee, let your heel fall to the right. Maybe you lift your left knee up so you feel that extra stretch. You can also look under your left shoulder or your right shoulder toward your dirty foot. As you inhale, lift your left leg up. As you exhale, look forward, swing your left foot forward. Drop your back heel down. Inhale up to warrior one. Back leg straight and strong, back heel down. Bring your hips square to the front of your mat and sink in toward your front thigh. Maybe you sink a little lower, maybe you look up, maybe you bring your hands together. Exhale, hands come down to your mat. Drop your back knee down. And as you inhale, lift up to a low lunge. Exhale, dip your hips. Inhale, reach. And I'm going to give you another balloon here. And this time I want you to take that marker out. I want you to write down everything you want in your life. All the amazing things you're ready to see. All the feelings you want to feel. All the people and places you want to experience. Everything that you want in your life, write it all over this balloon. See yourself having it. As you inhale, feel it lifting. As you exhale, separate your arms and watch as it sails away. Smaller and smaller. Taken by the universe to be granted as a wish for you and those you love. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, plant your hands. As you inhale, step your left foot back, lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams. I am joyful. I am perfect just the way I am. I am letting go. Rediscover your breath. As you inhale, heels up, gaze forward. Walk your feet up to meet your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, come arms overhead. Exhale, hands to heart center. Look down to your fingertips for just a moment. Reconnect with your breath. Send the signal to your brain once again, all is well. I am safe. I am right where I should be. And release. Now again, as you inhale, sit back and down. Arms come up overhead. Hands come to touch. And now bring your hands in toward heart center. Take in a deep inhale, lengthen through your spine. As you exhale, twist over to the right. Left elbow outside of your right thigh. You can also bring your left arm across your thighs with your right hand onto your lower back. Wherever you are, bring your left knee back in line with your right. Sit your hips down below your heart. As you exhale, press and twist. This twist helps cleanse the toxins out of our organs. Also resets the spine. Exhale, fold. Heel toe your feet about hip distance apart. You can bend at your knees here, let your chest come to your thighs, and now you can wrap your fingers around your big toes. And you can just hang out here and allow this to be passive if you want. We're just looking to get the heart above the head, so the heart gets a break. You can also make it active by straightening your legs as you pull with your elbows moving east and west. It's a beautiful hamstring stretch, stretches all the way through. And while we're here, we're letting those happy hormones build up at the tip of the brainstem, as well as allowing the heart to get the break that it so deserves. We're always walking and sitting and walking and running. Now release your hands, stay in your fold. Hands come up to your hips. Pull your belly button into your spine. Super important, engage your core slowly, like it's a game to come up last. Head comes up last. And that's why we call that the Xanax of yoga. I love that one. So we're going to do that again. We'll start off by resetting the spine. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands. Step back. Lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. And rock your I ams here once again. I am happy. I am healthy. I am amazing. Inhale, heels up. Look forward. Walk, step, or jump. Breathe in, halfway lift. And breathe out, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead, hands come to touch. Inhale, heart center. Exhale, release. And now once again, on your breath in, sit back and down. Look for your toes past your knees, belly button in towards your spine. Arms up overhead, hands come to touch. Bring your hands in toward heart center. As you inhale, lengthen through your spine. As you exhale, twist to your left. So right elbow outside of your left knee, or your right arm across your thighs with your left hand to your lower back. Right knee back in line with your left. Sink your hips below your heart. Take an inhale. Exhale, press your left hand onto your right and twist. Purge the toxins. Reset the spine. Exhale, fold. Heel toe your feet about hip distance apart once again. Bend at your knees. Chest comes to your thighs. And this time you can bring your palms underneath your feet. This is called gorilla pose. Now you can again just make this passive and just kind of hang out here. The main part is giving the heart a break, letting the heart be above the head. It's always having to fight gravity to get the blood up to the brain, back to the organs where it belongs. Or you can make it active. It's completely up to you. Giving ourselves another few breaths here as the heart gets that break that it needs. This also helps tone our vagus nerve system, which is connected to the relaxed side of our body. Release, bring your hands out, stay in your fold. Hands come up to your hips. Pull your belly button into your spine, and very, very slowly Tick yourself back up. Head comes up last. Ah, the Xanax of yoga. It's a beautiful thing. Step your feet together. Inhale, arms overhead. Exhale, swan dive forward. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, step back. Lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams here once again. I am powerful. I am strong. I am amazing. As you inhale, right leg comes up. Exhale, swing your right foot forward. Drop your back heel down. Inhale up to warrior one for just a moment. And now open up to warrior two. If you need to, you can scoot your back leg back to give yourself room. Heels stay in a line. Back leg straight and strong. Take your gaze forward. And maybe you sink into your front thigh a little bit. Maybe you bring your front knee out towards your pinky toe. It likes to collapse inward. You'll notice you can get a little more depth in the pose. Maybe you bring your shoulder blades together so you can create that straight line from fingertip to fingertip as you look over your right hand. Letting the hips open. Again, some of the biggest muscle groups come into these areas, and this is where we hold all that regret, all the depression, all the things of the past. It's time for us to let that go. As you inhale, straighten up your right leg. Reach for the front of the room. When you can reach no further, hinge and bring your hand to your thigh, to your shin. Just avoid your knee, or to your ankle. For those that are super stretchy, you can bring your hands down to the floor. Reach with your left hand up for the sky. And keep your front leg straight and strong. You'll feel that stretch into the inner thigh. And that's exactly what we're looking for. Let's give yourself a moment here. Concentrate on the story you're telling yourself. Don't concentrate on the suck, or else you get more of the suck. Concentrate on the letting go, the growth. And now bend into your front thigh. Bring your right elbow to your right knee. As you inhale, come back up to your warrior two. Front palm spins upward. As you exhale, come to your reverse warrior. Your back hand onto your thigh or to your calf. Just avoid your knee once again. Now open your right shoulder to the right and reach as you sink into your front thigh. You'll feel that stretch in the side body once again. And now back to your warrior two. And windmill your hands down to your mat. Step your right leg back. Lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams once again. I am healthy. I am happy. I am amazing. As you inhale, heels up, look forward, walk, step, or jump. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead. Hands come to touch. Inhale, heart center. Exhale, release. Breathe in, arms overhead. And as you release, arms out, swan dive forward. Take a breath in, halfway lift. Let it all out, hands down, step back, lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rock your I ams here once again. I'm strong. I am prosperous. I am powerful. As you inhale, left leg goes up. Exhale, swing your left foot forward. Drop your back heel down. Inhale up to your warrior one for just a moment. Now open up to your warrior two. The back leg straight and strong once again. Maybe you sink into your front knee. Maybe you bring your front knee out towards your pinky toe. Maybe you sink a little lower into your front thigh. And bring your shoulder blades together so you can create that straight line as we look over our left middle finger. As you inhale, straighten up your front thigh. Reach for the front of the room and hinge yourself forward. Remember, thigh, shin, or ankle, avoid your knee. Reach with your right hand. And work at keeping your front leg straight and strong Reach to help stretch from the spine. Just another few breaths. We are letting go. Bend into your front thigh. Elbow comes to your knee. Come back to your warrior two. Front palm spins up. As you exhale, come back to your reverse warrior on this side, onto your thigh or onto your calf. Avoid your knee. Sink into your front thigh. Open your left shoulder to the left and reach back as you sink. Feel that side stretch once again. And now back to your warrior two. Windmill your hands down to your mat. Step your left leg back. Lower down, half push-up. Inhale, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Rockier I am. I am a little sweaty. I am happy. I am healthy. As you inhale, heels up, look forward. Walk, step, or jump your feet. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead. Hands come to touch. Inhale, heart center. And exhale, release. All right, so we're going to bring a little balance into the equation now. Of course, balance in life is what we're all striving for. So, a few ways to do this one. You can keep your back leg down whenever we move into this posture, or you can lift it up. It's completely up to you. Remember, whatever you do, your body is getting everything that it needs. Even if you leave your foot down onto the floor, your body still gets all those stabilizer muscle actions. So let yourself be where you are. So step to the back of your mat, feet together. Reach your arms up overhead. Continue to look forward. Take a step forward with your left foot. Your back heel comes up. And then make whatever shifts you need. Find your balance. For the advanced, you can keep your hands up overhead. For me, I'm going to bring my hands in toward heart center, hinge my upper body forward, parallel to the ground. And then again, remember, you can be right here, toes on the ground. You'll still feel all of that stretch, all of the stabilizer muscles working. Your hands in toward heart center brings a little extra stabilization. You can lift your leg up, try to form that letter T. And work at keeping your hips nice and square. Your right hip likes to lift. Let that drop back down so it's parallel right next to your left. Just another few moments here. Slowly start to lower your right foot down, fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead, hands come to touch. Inhale, heart center. And release. We're going to step to the back of the mat once again. I don't want you walking in circles, so we got to do that other side. All right. Reach your arms up overhead. Hands come to touch. Look forward. Right foot steps forward. Left heel comes up. Make those little shifts that you need to. Find your balance. When you are ready, hands overhead or hands in toward heart center. Upper body parallel to the floor. And then you can work your left thigh or left leg parallel to the floor. Work at keeping your hips square once again. Your left hip is going to like to lift. Give yourself just a few moments here, just a few breaths. Remember, it is okay to have your toes down. There are days where I have my back feet down and you still feel that stretch. Your stabilizer muscles are still getting everything that they need. Slowly lower your left foot down, fold. Halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead. Hands come to touch. Inhale to heart center. Look down to your fingertips. Send the signal to your brain once again, all is well. I am safe. I am right where I should be. Reconnect with your breath. And release. And now this time we're going to take a step to the front of our mat. As you noticed, we're done with the up dog, down dogs. So I'm sure you're happy about that. Hands come onto your hips. Take a long step back with your left foot. Now notice heel spiked to the ceiling. Back leg stays straight and strong. Arms come up overhead. If you press your inner thighs together, you get the feeling of stabilization. It also allows you to sink a little further into your crescent lunge. Now hands come together overhead. Bring your hands in toward heart center. Taking an inhale, lengthen through your spine. As you exhale, twist to the right, left elbow outside of your right thigh. You can also drop your back knee down here so you can concentrate on the twist. Press with your right hand. This allows you again to purge the toxin. You notice that's a theme. We like to make sure we cleanse the body, making room for that new. Exhale, release. Drop your back knee down to the mat. You're the back foot, the top of your foot onto the mat. And now work your right foot outside of your right hand to the very edge of your mat, parallel to the side of your mat, so you can keep your foot nice, straight forward and back. Protect the hip so we can open it up. And I'm sure you're already feeling the hip stretch. That's exactly what we are looking for. So after you're here for a moment, now that we've warmed into this pose, if you feel like you can get more, go for it. You can bend your elbows. And if you'd like, you can also work your right forearm down. If your right forearm makes it without your leg kicking out, you can bring your left forearm down. And this is the important part, to check in with your story that you're telling yourself. You know, all of our lives, it's just a story that we tell ourselves. We deal with the story that we continue to run in our head. Are you focusing on the challenge? Or are you focusing on the growth, the change that comes from that challenge? You take your breath and just send it into those tight areas. You'll find that it magically finds a little more space with each breath, allowing you to let go. You'll slowly start to work your way up to your hands. Let your right toes angle out to the right just a bit. Right hand comes to your right knee. Let your hips fall forward. As you exhale, press your right knee away from you, lifting the inside of your foot off of the mat. You can also spin your right shoulder open and look over your right shoulder. Of course, you're going to feel this in the front of the left hip flexors and on the outside of the right. These are some of the biggest muscle groups once again, so just focus on your breath. Send your breath into that tense area. And slowly bring yourself back. Work your right foot in between your hands. And now going into a half split. For those that have full splits, go for it. Rock out your full split right now. For those like myself that need half, your front heel plants to your mat. Toes come back to your knee. Your back knee is underneath your back hip. Your back toes can tuck, or the top of your foot. That is completely up to you. Now work at keeping your spine nice and straight. You can have your fingertips down. And now pull your right hip back into its socket. Left hip comes forward. You'll feel that stretch and crease. Working our way through the IT band, the hamstrings, the calves, all of those big muscle groups that may tighten up and give us issues through the day. Allowing ourselves to let go. Give yourself just another few breaths here. Remember to focus on your change. Focus on the beauty that you bring to yourself. Now coming out of this pose carefully, plant your front foot into the mat. As you take your next breath in, step your left foot to meet your right, fold. Halfway lift, shoulders away from your ears, decompress the spine. Exhale, fold. Reverse swan dive, arms come up overhead, hands come to touch. Inhale, heart center. Exhale, release. And once again, step to the front of your mat. Hands onto your hips. Take a long step back with your right foot. Back leg stays straight and strong. Arms up overhead. Press your inner thighs together and sink in toward your front thigh. Crescent lunge on this side. Let your shoulders drop away from your ears. I know a lot of the times we tense up. It's important to let those drop. Hands come together. Bring your hands in toward heart center. Taking an inhale, lengthen through your spine. Exhale, twist to the left. Remember, you can drop your back knee down. Also press your left hand onto your right to create more of that twist, and you can look over your left shoulder. Exhale, release. Drop your back knee down. Work your left foot outside of your left hand now to the edge of your mat. Remember to keep it parallel with your mat. And as usual, I'm sure you're already feeling that stretch. I know I am. So we're going to let ourselves be here for a moment, especially for some of the more advanced students. We like to rush our way in. It's important to warm the body into each pose. When you're ready, start to bend at your elbows if you'd like more, or bring your left forearm down. And now your right forearm can come down. Wherever you are, focus on the story you want in your life. Send the breath into the tense area. Focus on the change. Allow yourself to be where you are. And remember that you are giving yourself everything that you need. This is all coming from you. And slowly, just another few breaths. Slowly, slowly, slowly bring yourself back up to your hands. Let your left toes angle out to the left just a bit now. Left hand to your left knee. Let your hips sink forward. And as you exhale, press your left knee away from you, lifting the inside of your foot off of the mat. Let your hips continue to fall forward. You'll feel this in the front of the right hip and the outside of the left. You can also spin your left shoulder open and look over your left shoulder for a bit of a twist. It's beautiful out here with the wind. Lovely weather that we have here in Las Vegas. Allow yourself to just focus on the beauty in your life. And release. Now bring your hands back to the mat. Left foot works back in between your hands in half splits or full splits on this side. So again, plant your front heel into the mat. Back knee underneath your hips. Front leg straight and strong. Toes towards your knees. And now pull your left hip into its socket. Right hip comes forward, and you'll feel that stretch increase. Each side may feel a little different. I know this side is my tight side, and that is completely normal. We have our dominant and passive side. Remember to breathe. Send the exhale into that area. Notice how you find more space. Focus on the story you're telling yourself. Slowly coming out of this side as well. We're going to come out a little differently. Plant your front foot into the mat. Left hand comes on the inside of your left leg. Swing your left foot back. Find your way onto your seat. You have made it through the standing series. So we're going to start off our floor series here with a wide leg forward fold. So your knees down, toes towards your knees. And it doesn't matter so much about how wide you are. If you go too wide, sometimes you'll notice that your hips start to roll back. You want your hips to roll forward or anterior tilt. So you want it rolling forward. So you can bring your legs in a little closer if it's a little tougher for you wide. Sit up nice and straight, shoulder blades together. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, your hands can come to the center, or you can reach for your ankle, your shin, or for your toes, or the insides of your feet. Now, super important before we go any further, Shoulder blades together, long, straight spine. Always protect the spine. Press your knees down towards the ground. Take a deep inhale. As you exhale, maybe you find a little more real estate, or maybe you stay right where you are. Either way, I know you're feeling that stretch on the inside of both thighs. Taking care of those pesky big muscle groups. Let's give yourself another few moments. With each breath, you can find a little space. With each exhale, you can find a little more real estate. And now release slowly, bring yourself back up. And we're going to move into left leg stays out. Your right foot comes to the inner side of your left thigh. Left hand on the outside of your left knee so you can sit up tall. You can also spin your shoulders towards your left foot. Your right hand is the action hand, moving along the outside of the left leg. Take an inhale. As you exhale, reach for the outside of your shin or for your ankle, and eventually you'll get the outside of the left foot. Keep your knee nice and straight. You feel that stretch, or your leg nice and straight. You'll feel a stretch through the back of your leg. You also feel this beautiful stretch moving through the shoulder, down into the ribs, the solar plexus. And just give yourself another few moments, just another few breaths. And slowly start to bring yourself back up. And of course, just like before, we don't want to walk in circles, so let's go the other way now. So, right leg comes out to the side, left foot comes into the right thigh, right hand outside of the right knee, sit up nice and tall, spin your shoulders square to your right foot. Left hand is the action hand, take in an inhale. As you exhale, move along the outside of the right ankle, the shin, or to the outside of your right foot. And again, knee stays down, nice straight leg, so you feel that stretch through the back of the right leg, and also the stretch through the shoulder, the ribs, and solar plexus, all the way down. Just a beautiful cross stretch for the body. Letting go with each and every breath. Now slowly start to bring yourself back up. And we're going to straighten out your legs. Find your sitting bones onto the mat. Bend at your knees. Bring your feet to the mat. So your hands come behind your hamstrings. Elbows nice and wide. Long, straight spine here. So your elbows wide helps promote that long, straight spine. Start to increase the angle in between your chest and your thighs. You'll feel your core engage. You can lift your shins up parallel to the mat. And this is called a half boat. So we can stay right here for the moment. I'm sure you're feeling that shake. Just like a cheetah after it hunts, or just like a chihuahua. They are shaking that excess energy, that fear. They are shaking it free. So let go of that fear. We don't need it anymore. Right ankle comes over your left, heels come in, plant your hands. Inhale, lift up to reset. Exhale, lower down. And back to your boat. Whatever that looks like for you. You can stay here in half boat. You can straighten out your legs. You can also bring your hands to the front. Or maybe even bring your arms up for that extra little balance. It's completely up to you where you go with this. We're just looking for that shake. Letting go of what no longer serves us. Left ankle over your right, heels come in, plant your hands, inhale, lift up, exhale, lower back down, and one more time, back to your boat, whatever that looks like for you. Allow yourself to be wherever you are. Allow yourself to shake that fear loose, because it doesn't serve us anymore. We don't need it. We're moving past it. We are letting go. Right ankle over your left, heels come in, plant your hands, inhale, lift up. Exhale, lower back down. Now pull your heels in or move your legs out to the side. And roll yourself forward onto your knees. We're going to come up to standing on our knees. Shoulders over hips, hips over knees. You can tuck your toes for this next one. It's called camel. This one tucking your toes makes it a little more available. So on a day like today where I'm super tight, I am keeping my toes tucked. For those that want to move on or advance it a little further, you can tops of your feet onto the mat. Wherever you are, hands come to your lower back like you're placing your hands into your back pockets. Elbows come together. You'll notice your heart space shine forward. That's what we're looking for. Chest lifts, let your gaze lift, and when you feel comfortable, you can let your head fall back. Just keep your hips forward and your chest lifting. You can also bring your hands back to your heels. Thumbs out, fingertips in, chest forward, hips forward. Slowly, one arm at a time, walk your way back out. Let your hips sit down to your heels, knees together. And sit in hero's pose for just a moment. So sit up tall. Your hands can be down to root yourself in the moment, or they can be up to receive a little more energy. Wherever you are, this pose is a great reminder that you can't always be a hero, but you can be a champion for yourself just by showing up. You showed up for you today. You made you important. Blink your eyes open. We're going to go into one called rabbit. So rabbit can be a little daunting. Even for myself, there are some days I can't get it. So if you'd like, you can just do a child's pose with your knees together, forehead to the mat, arms back. This is also known as rock pose. If you'd like to give rabbit a try, reach for your heels, thumbs out, fingertips in. Sit up nice and tall. If you can bring your heels together now, great. If you are anatomically like myself, you'll be able to bring them together once we move into the pose. Taking an inhale, lengthen through your spine. As you exhale, chin to your chest. Roll your forehead down to meet your knees. And now heels come together. Very important. Pull against your heels. Hips come forward. You can walk your knees up to meet your forehead. Only slight pressure into the top of your head. Pull against your heels. Exhale, slowly lower. Your head comes up last. Oh, that's one of my favorite stretches. I love that one. Now let's decompress the spine from those two. So step back to your plank and press back to your downward dog. Excuse me. You can also walk your dog out here. Left and right. Left and right. The right leg comes up. And now exhale. Swing your right knee to your right wrist. Let your heel come just in front of your hips. Top of your foot on the back foot comes down to your mat. Excuse me. And now keep your hips nice and square. You can stay right here. I know you're already feeling that hip opener. If you'd like to move further, you can lean yourself forward and come all the way down. Your forehead rests on the back of your hands. Just giving yourself a few moments here, moving toward the end of our practice. Opening up the hips, opening up the shoulders and mid-back, stretching everything that we worked. This is self-care. Slowly work your way back up to your hands. Tuck your back toes and press back to your downward dog. And once again, you can walk your dog out, bend one leg, straighten the other. Settle your heels down, left leg comes up. Exhale, left knee to your left wrist. Heel just in front of your hips. And back foot, top of the foot comes to the mat. Square your hips off. You'll feel that stretch already in the left hip flexor. When you're ready, forward and down. Just give yourself a few breaths. Allow yourself to let go And slowly press yourself back up to your hands. Coming out of this side a little differently, sit your left hip down, swing your right foot around, and now make your way all the way onto your back. And once we reach our back, you're going to bring your right knee into your chest, interlock your fingers over your shin, and now change the angle. Pull the knee outside of your rib cage, like you're pulling it into your right armpit. Taking care of our internal organs here. This is where 75% of our immune system lives. Right now, we are massaging the ascending colon. You'll feel the pressure between your right thigh and your right side of your chest and the right side of your abdomen. Now keep your knee right where it is. Reach your right hand inside of your right foot and bring yourself up to a half happy baby. Your ankle directly over your knee to protect your knee. Bottom of your foot faces the sky. Your left hand onto your left hip as you inhale, take in space. As you exhale, pull your right knee outside of your rib cage. Feel that stretch increase. And now slowly start to release. Bring both knees into your chest, reach over your shins, and hug yourself. Pull your knees into your chest, and keep your lower back and your hips working toward the mat. You'll feel the pressure in between the abdomen and the thighs, taking care of the transverse and sigmoid colon. You can also rock left and right for a slight spinal massage. And release. Keep your left knee. Let your right leg go forward. Interlock your hands over your shin. And now change the angle. Pull your knee outside of your rib cage towards your left armpit. You'll feel the pressure between your left thigh and your abdomen, just outside of your chest, taking care of the descending colon. Keep your right shoulder down, your right heel active. Now reach. Keep your knee where it is. Reach with your left hand inside your left foot. Your ankle comes up over your knee. If you can bring your knee up over your ankle in this pose, wow. Bottom of your foot toward the sky, and as you exhale, pull your left knee down. Your right hand can keep your right hip and right shoulder down. And now one more time, release. Bring your knees into your chest. Give yourself a nice big hug. You can rock a little bit for that spinal massage. And release. One more time. Keep your right knee. This time it's just for a twist. Nice and passive. Left hand outside of your right knee. Right arm moves out to the right. Look to your right fingertips. Keep your right shoulder down and let your right knee float over to the left. It's okay if the right knee doesn't come down. It's more important to keep your right shoulder down. So you get that twist across the body, taking care of the spine, purging toxins, resetting the spine. And now look up toward the sky. Really engage your core. Right knee comes up. Straighten out your right leg and bring your left leg in. Left knee in, right hand outside of your left knee. Left hand moves out. Look over toward your left fingertips. And now bring your knee over to the right. Remember, keep your left shoulder down. More important to keep your left shoulder onto the floor than it is to bring your left knee to the floor. And now slowly look up. Engage your core. Bring your knee back up. Straighten out your legs. Let your heels separate. Let your toes fall out. And let the backs of your hands come down to the floor or your mat. Get the last little shifts out, shoulders and hips. Find that comfortable position. This is the closing meditation. This is the pose for which we practice. It's a pose of contemplation, a pose of honor, respecting yourself for showing up today for you. That's 95% of this whole universe, just showing up. You made you important today. You chose you. As we continue to move forward, remember that the past is history. The future is a mystery. And right now is a gift. That's why we call it the present. Let yourself be more rooted and focused in the now. Allow yourself to be right where you are. And know that the power in that is that you control your next step. Start to wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Keep your eyes closed and find your way onto your favorite side for one of the body's favorite poses, the fetal position. Your bottom arm comes up to cradle your head, knees come into your chest, top hand just rests on the floor. This is a pose of automatic security and safety, of peace. You lived here for 10 months before entering this world, so the body remembers. This pose also helps remind us that we are our own parent and our own baby. It is up to us to give us what we need. We are the only ones that can give us what we need in this life. Keep your eyes closed. Press your top hand into the mat. Bring yourself back up to your seated position. You can let your hands rest on your knees, or you can bring your hands toward your heart center, thumbs kissing to the heart. And you can let your chin drop, looking down toward your fingertips. This is a bow in honor of you, for again making you important. It's been an absolute honor and pleasure to lead you through your practice. The light in me honors and respects the light in each and every one of you. Namaste.